conference, I just feel like you should never let anyone take an inch because I'd end up taking a mile. You know what I mean, Dan? Sorry? And how come, I know why, but do you know why Fabio and Miller didn't happen?
Well, we've told that Miller's got an injury.
Is it? Yeah. Okay. God damn. I could do your job better than you. Get me in front of the camera, I'll give people the lowdown.
And there you have it, guys. There is Anthony Joshua giving a cryptic message on why Jerel Miller and Fabio Wardley didn't happen. If you guys can recall, Fabio Wardley ended up fighting Justice Hooney as he replaced Miller. And, of course, we know that Fabio took a beating before landing a right hand that ended the show in the 10th round. Okay. And therefore, for Jerel Miller, the reasoning behind that was a shoulder injury. And a lot of people had their doubts. A lot of people had questions on why Jerel Miller just, pulled out of the fight. Now, it was for the reason for the injury, okay? But we really didn't hear a lot based on the testing, and you guys know that AJ is implying that Jerel Miller was secretly cheating and he pulled out because he didn't want to get popped again based on what he was cycling on or based on what he was cycling off. Okay, that being said, you have to remember something. Jerel Miller, I don't think Jerel Miller tested dirty. And I also believe that VADA, especially when someone's reputed like that has been popped, they are more likely to be tested over and over again. In fact, if you do pull out of a fight and you call it a shoulder injury, I think that should always raise a red flag when it comes to why you're actually leaving a fight. Because one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to get popped, especially Jerel Miller. Because Jerel Miller's already a 2-strike guy, and he served a ban and time for one, then another one. And, I don't think he can afford another one because I think that may be indefinite, or the amount of time may be so long that by the time he can get back in the ring, he'll be 40 years old. Because I think Jerel Miller's 35, 36 now. So, yeah, so I think that he knows better than to put himself in that type of position to get popped. But again, it does lead to people's thoughts on him getting out like he did. Does AJ know something that no one else does? You know what I mean? That's kind of weird how AJ took it upon himself to say that about Jerel Miller. Hell, AJ really don't talk about a lot of people anyway, but he did with Jerel Miller. And that shows you two things. One, Jerel Miller must have really pissed off AJ for AJ to hate him. He does not like Jerel Miller. And two, I think that the fight with him and Jerel Miller, I think is already and always will put a scar and a dent on Anthony Joshua. Because if you think about it, again, Jerel Miller altered his career with the replacement of Andy Ruiz, taking his first loss ever in Madison Square Garden. So, you know what I mean? AJ has a lot of reasons to dislike Jerel Miller. And I think that's one of the reasons why he himself has not fought Jerel Miller. But I will say this. AJ has this message for Jerel Miller. Like, hey, I believe you were cheating. That's why you got your ass out of the Fabio Wardley fight when you could, while the going was good. I think it should be the exact reason why he should fight Jerel Miller. You know what I mean? But that's why he doesn't want to pay Jerel Miller to give him the satisfaction of the payday, right? The payday. And I think that's his way of trying to punish Miller, as not giving him another opportunity, or using that as an excuse. Like, yo, I still think he's a drug cheat. I still think he's on drugs, and I will never consider fighting him, because even if Vada doesn't catch him, he still may be cycling on and off, you know, to get the edge and cheat so he can, you know, fuck over people, basically. You know, excuse my French, but that's how I think AJ is looking at it, you know. So AJ's trying to punish him. AJ's also trying to be that whistleblowing, cryptic message throwing guy to everybody that tells, like, hey, Jerel Miller's cheating type shit. So I think that's exactly what Anthony Joshua's doing, you know, blasting him in that aspect. But then you don't want to fight him. I think, you know, it's one of those things where something has to give. You know what I mean? And for Jerel Miller saying that, hey, he's turned down 4 offers from me, or he's turned me down 4 times, that says a lot. But you guys tell me what you think of Anthony Joshua leaving this cryptic message that Jerel Miller is still on the juice. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.